This is Madronek's son, an awesome professional wrestler, whose paper frame moves quickly and adroitly.
The battle starts off with low-key joint attacks, but as the match progresses, things heat up. By the end of the match, it's brutal, with each wrestler going for the throat, using any lethal tactic available to bring his opponent to his knees.
The paper robots, called Kami-Robo, are the sole creation of Tomohiro Yasui. The 35-year-old designer lives in Kyoto, Japan, and is a well-known creator of molds for collectible plastic figures, dolls, and toys. Yasui began making paper robots in the second grade of elementary school. Over the last 27 years, he has made over 400. Within his mind and hands, they are skilled professional wrestlers whose lives revolve around the ring. Each one has a name and a distinct personality, and plays a part in sustaining the history of Kami-Robo wrestling. Madronek's son, Madronek King's first apprentice. This awesome wrestler is a key figure in the Kami-Robo world. He is often at odds with his master and is quick to take on younger wrestlers. Madronek Baron Bomber, another follower of Madronek King. He learns the ropes from his master, who runs a training school that launches a new fighting organization after the collapse of his first one.
It was the championship match between Madronek's son and Baron Bomber, who was an up-and-coming fighter. Madronek's son seemed to have the edge, but as he made a lethal attack, the wiring on his arm came off. I was totally blown away. That's what makes wrestling so exciting. It's for my own personal pleasure. When I'm totally free, nothing gets better than this. When I'm feeling creative, I can concentrate and make them for days. But they don't become good fighters overnight. I figure on them becoming more well-rounded fighters after a year or two. First, they enter the ring as opening performers, which gives them a chance to exercise their joints. After a couple of years, their joints are more flexible, enabling them to find out where they stand in the Kami-Robo world. But they're still newcomers. They could never take on a top wrestler. They're just too stiff, so it's physically impossible. When I make one, I hope he'll do well. But it all depends on how well I can move, which means lots of training.
A sinister wrestler who uses cutthroat tactics to destroy the competition is a former rival of Madronek King. Never turn your back on Mao. Majin Jr., the son of the notorious Mao, as the Kami-Robo world marked its 20th year. Majin Jr. is the bad boy behind the formation of a wild group of street wrestlers.
There is an ideal width between the hip bones and leg bones, which gives the wrestler balance and stability when the hip joints are secured with wire. Balance is the key to making them move well, and to enabling them to stand with their legs apart.
The history of Kami-Robo can be traced back 27 years to the day when Yasui's father brought home some electrical cord from his office. The 8-year-old Yasui used it to make wire toys resembling characters found in his favorite action-packed cartoons on TV. Those were the days when Mobile Suit Gundam and other cartoons featuring robots were a huge hit in Japan. Influenced by this craze, Yasui began crafting paper fighters.
During the Gundam boom, I was into making plastic model toys. But those plastic robots were nothing like the characters on TV. They couldn't move like them. Kami-Robo, however, can bend. They're flexible and elastic. Plus, when it breaks, you can repair it. That's why playing with Kami-Robo was far more interesting for me.
These were also the days when professional wrestling was taking Japan by storm, further fueling Yasui's active imagination. In the early days, the world revolved around its first fighters, Madronek Fighter and Madronek King. Their first title match was held in 1982 under the big top of Yasui's room. Madronek Fighter! The founder of the Kami-Robo professional industry, famed for his spectacular air-fighting tricks and joint tactics. He stepped out of the ring in 1999 and now runs a training school. Madronek King! The power broker of the Kami-Robo wrestling industry. He's a hot-blooded fighter whose character is modeled after Yasui's own. He remains an influential player with Madronek Force. Over the last 27 years, Madronek Fighter and Madronek King have found themselves surrounded by followers and challengers. At present, there are 11 organizations and groups which fuel complicated plot lines and intrigue within the industry.
They live in groups, in these boxes. So naturally, some wrestlers don't get along. They argue and fight over trivial stuff. I think it's funny when they say, "Okay, let's settle it in the ring."
Madronek King's second apprentice, once a yellow-bellied wrestler who cried at the drop of a hat. Now a cunning villain, he formed numerous groups which all failed, leaving him heavily in debt. History of Kami-Robo wrestling isn't just a record of who won and who lost. Rather, it is a microcosm of events that reflect the real world of professional wrestling, including its human dramas as well as the outside world. Because of their contrasting characters and personalities, friendships and feuds develop naturally, as wrestlers battle relentlessly within the ring. Various organizations are formed, causing endless disputes and grudges. Such dynamics form the base of complicated and intense drama seen throughout the history of Kami-Robo wrestling. Our man specializes in Mexican-style air-fighting tricks. He joined the Max League and is now billed as the top star adored by the crowds. A rising star in the Max League. After a rigorous audition and splashy debut, the charismatic fighter is now struggling to prove his worth. Has a world of cuts and scars to his honor. Though powerful, word has it that his time is running short.
When I made Blood Lee, I had a feeling that he would end up in the world of deathmatch wrestling. One day, as he was fighting a deathmatch, I got my finger slashed by one of the weapons. Blood poured out, dripping all over his body. I was so amazed. I said to myself, "Wow, what an awesome fighter." Recently, things have gotten a bit perverted. For example, the Entertainment Fighters Organization is promoting its rising star, Fujiyama. The owner says, Fujiyama is now the superstar, so you do whatever it takes to make him look cool in the ring. So, a wrestler who goes up against him intentionally throws the fight to make Fujiyama look like a superhero. The guy then gets praised backstage for doing a good job. It's totally twisted. I belong to a generation in which it was considered odd and a bit dangerous to be into TV characters. It was different from today. So, I always felt guilty playing with Kami-Robo. And that feeling remains. So I can't say that I play with them wholeheartedly. A part of me says I should put this behind me. But, at the same time, I really enjoy playing with them. You know, this is something very private and secret. I sometimes wonder if I'm okay. But then I tell myself to just let it be. But my level-headed side looks on objectively and asks, how long is this going to continue?